Hey folks, this is Kurt Bird with Carolina Packers, and this is the Bright Side News, where we're bringing you good, encouraging news that we hope will brighten your day and inspire you to go out and show your community some love. Now this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and on Memorial Day we get to go out, hang out with family, spend time with friends cooking outside, might even cook some bright leaf hot dogs. But none of that would be possible without the many sacrifices of our men and women of the U.S. military. We want to thank them, and we hope that you think about them and honor them, spend a little time thinking about and remembering what they did so that we could be free and be able to enjoy a weekend like this. Now this week, we got a special treat. The Clayton Rotary Club has been doing a lot of good stuff. We've been hearing about it. We wanted to report. Mr. Ian Rumbles, president of the Clayton Rotary Club, was able to sit down with Justin Raymond and have an interview. And we're going to go to Justin right now.
Thanks, Kurt. Justin Raymond here with Carolina Packers, reporting for the Bright Side News. I'm here with Ian Rumbles, who's the Clayton Rotary Club president. Thanks for joining us today, Ian.
Thank you, Justin. Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've heard great things going on at the Rotary Club, and I'm sure we'd love to learn all about those things. As an outsider and a non-member looking in, all I've ever seen is that gear and your logo or wheel. Not really sure what that is, but working for Carolina Packers, Bright Leaf Hot Dogs, we've been involved with the Harvest Festival, and I know you guys have been heavily involved with that, so it's great working with you guys. And so I just want to ask you a question that I feel like a lot of people have. What exactly is the Rotary Club? Can you please share that with us?
Sure. Rotary Club is a service organization. We have about 50 clubs in the Raleigh district area, where there's 4 clubs located in Johnston County, and they have members ranging from 15 members to clubs like ours, which have 75 members. They're people that aren't necessarily business people, although that's probably where it started over 100 years ago. They're just people that are interested in giving back to their community. We do work both locally, which we'll talk about in a second when we talk about the current situation, but we also do a lot of work internationally. We have a number of areas that we focus, water and sanitation, young children, literacy. There's a whole bunch of things like that where we put our emphasis at an international level and try to focus our attention here locally.
Wow. So you mentioned you support a bunch of causes, and you guys are doing great work in the community, where right now it's extremely critical with this pandemic going on. So I was wondering what you guys are doing to help the community, or just to show the community some love during this time.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting, Justin. In the preamble, you said, I don't really know a lot about Rotary, because we do a real good job doing a lot of good work we don't tell anybody about.
Exactly.
So
it's not a bad thing.
Well, we should probably tell a little bit more about what we do, because we tend to be very modest people, is what I found about Rotarians.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our people to be a Rotarian, you need to be a person who's interested in giving back, have lots of really good connections out there, and people that are just of good integrity. So when we get a situation that we're currently in, our members are very proactive to say, what can we do in our community to help those that really need some help? Mm-hmm. So some of the things that are real obvious that we've been involved in, we gave money to the Clayton area ministries up at the food bank there in Clayton. That's easy. We write checks. We do check writing all the time. Don't tell a lot of organizations, but we write checks. But we also collected a lot of food. We made together, and so this current situation puts a lot of people into some odd situations. So we collected some food, but we also created some little kits, little plastic container, and all the different things you need to have a birthday party. So when someone's out of a job, the last thing that they need to think about is, I got a child that's having a birthday party. What do I do? Can't go to the store. And so they can just go to the food bank, pick up this kit, and they got cake and balloons and cards and stuff like that. So they can have a little birthday party. It doesn't seem like the thing you might think of, but for a family, that is actually a pretty important thing, especially for a young person.
Yeah, I would imagine. My wife just had a birthday, so I had to go out of my way to do some things that I normally wouldn't. Like, I scheduled a Zoom call with one of her friends that lives in a different state. So definitely not having that face-to-face interaction is an issue. So that you guys are doing that is pretty awesome. And you mentioned that you're doing that through the food bank.
They can contact the Clayton area ministries, and they're open from Monday to Friday from 1 to 3. And you can go there. They're very receptive to, and being able to help you with whatever your needs might be during this time type of thing. So on the other side, and actually our people were very proactive in thinking some other things. So that's one thing. I can go to the food bank and I can pick something up. But there's a lot of people that are in some situations where certainly, and we will be in for a number of months yet, where going to the store and going to doing things like that is probably actually quite risky. And so we've done two things. We're working with the I always get this wrong, the Eastern Carolina Food Bank Cooperative, and weekly they collect a box of food products that they present to, they provide to elderly and those at risk. And so our Rotarians with masks and gloves on have been involved in delivering those to people actually in a good part of the state here in Eastern Carolina. And also we've set up, we have a phone number and an email address that we're promoting locally. And a couple of people have said they can contact us and say, I'm really nervous about going to the store. And some of our guys go out there, do some shopping for them and drop off their groceries for them. And it just, they leave them at the front step or by the door, and people have always had to pay in advance, so we're not handling the money part, but we're glad to provide that physical drop something off part, which I think is really kind of cool. The other part, Justin, is that, so that's, we talk about people that can go to a food bank, we can talk about delivering stuff, and the people that we often forget are the homeless people. Like, we have people like that, and unfortunately I think we're going to have some more. And so we have some really good connections with our people that say, they work with the Salvation Army out of Smithfield, and they know some of those connections, plus some connections they just know that are out in the countryside. And so we worked with our connections, and we got some masks, we got some sanitization materials, we got some soap and some hygiene products and stuff like that, and put together some kits that we provided to some of the homeless, and they worked with that, their connections, to provide that to those people that are really vulnerable, and do that too. So a lot of different things that we're providing in a variety of different areas, because we know there's lots of people out there in need.
Absolutely. You guys are doing a lot of great stuff here, especially in the community. I was wondering, with all the causes you're involved in, all the initiatives you have, is there anything that stands out to you that you feel like has made the biggest impact on you? Like, is there a story that you could share with anything that you've done?
So I talked about the situation where, so we have an email address that people can contact, or a phone number that they can contact. We got a message about, it's probably now 4 weeks ago, a woman in Clayton who was shops at a local grocery store, but wasn't interested in going to the grocery store. And so she left a message saying, I'm uncomfortable. So we had one of our Rotarians contact her, this elderly woman, and picked up her grocery list, went out and did some grocery shopping for her, picked up a number of items for her, delivered her to her door, and then he had a real interesting conversation with her through a screen door about what she did and who she was. And obviously she's a person that lives alone, and he gives her a call every so often. And what was really cool was she was mentioned that it was her birthday was coming up, and so he bought her a birthday card and went home and had his wife and their young child sign up a birthday card. Totally something she was not expecting, and delivered her a birthday card. So someone that's quarantined inside their own home, what a wonderful thing to do. And that's just the type of people Rotarians are.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. So you have all these causes, initiatives going on, like I mentioned in the past. You mentioned that they can get a hold of you through Facebook. Is there any kind of criteria for them reaching out to you? Anything in particular, or how does it work?
We don't actually have any criteria. We are very trusting and very upfront about providing as much help. In fact, this weekend we're putting together a ramp for a person that needs a wheelchair ramp, and so we collected 10 guys, and we're going to go make wheelchair ramps on Saturday. So people just contact us, and we just try to do what we can to provide what we can. And I'm always amazed at what Rotarians can find through their resources, both financial resources, but mostly sweat resources to get involved in helping other people. They're really keen about that.
All right, you heard Ann. If you need help, contact the Rotary right there. All right, thanks for sharing that, Ann. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we didn't discuss today?
No, I appreciate the opportunity, Justin, to tell you a little bit about Rotary. Certainly, if you just type in either Clayton Rotary Club in Clayton, North Carolina, you'll find our Facebook page. We post a lot of stuff on there. Say there's Central Johnston Club here in Smithfield. They meet at the Medical Mall. They meet Thursdays at noon. And say there's one up in Cleveland at the Cleveland Draft House. They meet in the mornings. I think it's a Tuesday. I can't remember on that. But anyways, just contact us. Clayton, at least Rotary clubs are all around the country, around the world. And certainly it's a great organization if you're interested in community service.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. I really enjoyed having you on the Bright Side News today.
Thank you, Justin. Have a great day.
All right, Kurt, back to you.
Thank you, Justin, for that interview and letting us know what's going on. Ian, we appreciate your work and all the work of the Rotarians there in Clayton. You want to get involved with them, you know what to do, he just told you. You want to get involved with us, tell us some good Bright Side News material, please tell us, tag us, share it with us, write about some good news, put hashtag Bright Side News. We're going to see it. We're going to talk about it. Folks, we love you. We're thinking about you. We hope you have a great Memorial Day. This is Kurt Bird signing off. We like our hot dogs red, our leaves bright, our faith strong, and our news real good.